Now, to further discuss this, I'm being joined by Umar Muhammed, Program Manager, Kimpact Development Initiative. Umar, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, based on your experience from covering elections, we would like to find out exactly what key challenges impact electoral processes.
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. Kimpact Development Initiative has been observing election for some time now. And just recently, we returned back from the Ondo off-cycle gubernatorial election. And I can tell you for a fact that we've seen a lot of dynamics, changes in the process of elections. If you could recall, sometimes back, Kimpact, during the pre-election environment, Kimpact Development Initiative predicted some factors that we felt would affect the outcome of the Ondo governorship election. And these factors, some which are weather condition, Kimpact Development Initiative predicted that it may likely rain. The chances of it raining on that day of the election was very high. And we advised INEC to carry out plans that can mitigate against the chances of rain affecting, that election. As God will have it, on that election day, we noticed that rain fell, and it affected a whole lot of local governments in those states, from coming out early to conduct election, and for others in the middle of accreditation and voting, that rain affected, the election. In some places like Ikobaoka, Ego, local government area, Oredo local government area in Edo South, votings were disrupted as a result of that rain. We also predicted that the economic situation of the country will also affect, the choices of voters, that security agencies should do whatever they can, to ensure that vote trading doesn't take place in that election. We saw vote trading taking place in Edo in that governorship election. We saw vote being sold as high as 10,000 naira per voter. In fact, vote buying and selling was done, across the states, and it cut across political parties also. So we predicted this, and we also noticed that snatching of ballot papers, violence in the elections. We have also seen a trend, where all these are starting to slow down, but politicians instead will rather move to collation centers, to do what they need to do in their own favor.
All right, then, Umar. Umar, I'd like us to bring it to the specificity of the Ondo elections now. What can INEC do, especially when it comes to transparency and accountability in these elections? What can they do to make sure that there is no case of fraud or vote rigging based on everything that you've experienced?
For what we have seen in Ondo, some of the lessons we have learned, we hope that, which we have put out in our report, and we hope that INEC will be able to take it forward, is that we've seen situations where collation center has been a major challenge, where results are altered, at the collation stage. So it is our hope that INEC will do what they can to put competent hands, people with credibility to man collation of results from ward level to the local government and even at the state collation center. We're also looking at, situation where INEC will be able to invoke its power as given by the Electoral Act, which is Section 65 of the Electoral Act, which allow INEC, to be able to review election results, 1 week after the results have been announced, because we are seeing a trend where, protests by political parties about irregularities raised, and the response that is gotten is just noted, and nothing is done, afterwards. We are looking at possibility where INEC will be able to deploy such power as given to it by the Electoral Act, to review election results, compare the Form EC8A that it has physically with it to that was uploaded, to the IREF, to be able to resolve the issues of discrepancies. Because in Edo State, we noticed that the results that were uploaded on the IREF where there were a lot of discrepancies as against what was announced, at the State Collation Center. For instance, I will tell you for a fact that on the IREF, we saw 22 polling units where from EC40G was uploaded. And from EC40G upload means that there was issues with accreditation and voting in that polling unit.
Okay, then.
With the BVAS machine, by Model Voter Accreditation System machine. So,
well, okay then, Mr. Umar.
Election could not hold in 22 of those polling units. But on collation center at the state level, INEC returning officers for the local government stated that there were no cancellations in their local government. So you tend to wonder how is there such a situation where 22 polling units was uploaded on INEC IREF portal, stating that election did not.
All right, Mr. Umar, that indeed is food for thought for the authorities. We hope that as we move toward the elections for Ondo State, that the atmosphere is conducive enough, especially for the pre-election activities. Thank you very much, Mr. Umar.